prospects. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much. It is our fourth presentation today on the institution of the Waqf, and I'm also going to talk about different aspects of the Waqf institution. So I try to make my presentation more interesting because of the same topic for about over half an hour. So what is it, the Waqf and its relationship with the poverty alleviation? But why four speakers, including me today, talk about the Waqf as an indigenous Islamic institution? I think because it is the most institutionalized form of charity and philanthropy in Islamic civilization. That's why we talk about Waqf a lot. And the Waqf is a term now being used in the Oxford Dictionary and other major English dictionaries. And there are more interesting reasons that I will try to highlight in my presentation. Of course, it's needless to say that all Abrahamic religions, mystical and philosophical school of thoughts, one way or another, offered and established mechanisms for wealth transfer in order to look after the needy and destitute people in their respective communities. Islam as a religion is not an exception to that. There are countless Quranic verses, prophetic traditions, which enjoins to help the poor and needy. Moreover, there are fundamental systems and mechanisms in Islamic civilization for almsgiving, both as a compulsory, as Sister Amina talked about, the zakat, or qurbani, or on a volunteer basis, such as sadaqah and waqf. Since one of the major themes of G20 summit this year is sustainability, and the whole world, in actual fact, is in search of self-sustainable institutions in fighting the poverty all over the world, especially in the developing world. So in my 12-minute presentation, I will try to dedicate my talk on the relationship between the poverty alleviation and Islamic charitable endowment that is called Waqf. And I will dare to say that Waqf is not a model for Muslims as a self-sustainable development institution, but for the entire world, as most recently and most surprisingly, two Wall Street bankers in America rightly put it out. So what is Waqf and why or how the Waqf is different from the rest of the modern non-governmental, non-profitable organizations, trusts in poverty alleviation? Coming back to the main question of the Waqf, the definition of the Waqf, I'll try to take a few moments to define the Waqf in legal terms. Under the Islamic law, a benefactor endows a revenue-bearing freehold asset along with its usufruct in perpetuity for a confined pious cause and designated beneficiaries by means of stipulated management and regular supervision. This definition is extremely important in order to understand the Waqf. So when I say revenue-bearing freehold asset, this is an indispensable and inseparable aspect of the Waqf institution. A Waqf without a revenue-generating mechanism and its usufruct is null and void. It is not legally accepted. This in turn, this income-generating mechanism attached to the Waqf in return guarantees the longevity of the institution. That's why we have Waqf or plural awqaf in all over the Islamic world that outlive empires and dynasties and kingdoms. Number two is the regular income for the stipulated goals and objectives of the endowment secures the independence of the institution. So, in other words, Waqfs in general, financially independent and sustainable institutions because of this mechanism. In today's terms, the institution is completely